Hello Detroit Lions fans, welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the channel to not miss any news and activate the notification bell. Let's go to the news. Detroit Lions prove it's not the same old rebuild. Indeed, the Detroit Lions may take a long time to rebuild. They were almost there. Last week I suggested that the Detroit Lions v Jacksonville Jaguars was the biggest game of the Dan Campbell era and a test of the entire team. We've seen plenty of instances in the past where the Lions missed a few wins, nearly beat a great team, and then went downhill for the rest of the season. It looked like everything the Lions accomplished in November would mean nothing if the Lions didn't beat the Jaguars. Well, the Lions didn't just beat the Jags, they dominated them in every facet of the game. I'm willing to go ahead and say this reconstruction is real. In our second year, we learned a lot about this Lions team. These things tell me this team is on its way to being a consistent playoff team and maybe even a team that can finally bring Detroit a Lombardi trophy. Drafts are an important part of team building. It's imperative that you get it right. So far, Lions are doing just that. Of the 15 players Holmes drafted, 8 were starters. If that wasn't big enough, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell and Malcolm Rodriguez have shown that they can be Pro Bowl caliber players and pillars of this team's identity. The good news for the Lions is that they have another draft coming up with several first-round picks. The even better news is that the Lions' top pick has nothing to do with them. The Rams' collapse gave the Lions a top 5 pick for now. The following sketch can be really interesting. Training jobs. To be honest, it didn't feel like October. The Lions were 1-6 and projected to be the number 1 pick in the draft. Furthermore, they fired their other trainer Aubrey Pleasant. The Lions are losing by -1, almost 5-0 since then. Much credit must be given to the coaches of this race. Aaron Glenn has changed the defense in a matter of weeks and now they can match any offense in the league. Ben Johnson has come up with a great offensive game plan and Dan Campbell is killing it building that culture and obviously trains well too. The Lions may lose Ben Johnson as head coach after this season, but the Lions have shown enough to believe they can find a decent replacement if they lose Johnson. I think Johnson will get the head coaching job, but not this season. I think teams might be a little concerned about hiring a guy who's only been a coordinator for a year. However, you never know. Cultural works. I call this team a winner. I'm not doing this just because I like the music of 5 feet 9 inches Royce. I do this because I've seen this team overcome things that usually held them back in the past. Gone are the days when tapping turned off the device completely. The same goes for deficits, turnovers, and bad records. The Lions win and come to you. Culture is at stake. This team believes in itself and believes in the process. You see it every week. You get the feeling that everyone is having fun and everyone wants to be around each other and everyone wants to be in Detroit. Winning makes things seem that way, but also in bad times. It goes so far. It's hard to build a team when people hate being there. We saw this with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn when players retired early, left free agency, or were traded out of town. Those days are dead. The Lions could be a free agent target. This is the only section where I will speculate. The cultural material I just prepared is very visual for everyone in the league. It's not an exaggeration to think that some players look at Lions and their culture and think, I want to be a part of this. Every player the Lions signed last season mentioned that the team's culture was a big part of why they decided to come to Detroit. Now Lions don't just have culture, they have success and maybe space. A fish already seems to have Lions on its radar. Keep in mind that this may mean nothing and probably never will for reasons beyond Leo's control. Overall, the Lions are really fun and exciting to watch. They win big games, have an explosive, high-scoring offense every Sunday, and a pretty loud stadium. Everything seems to be going well for the Lions and I can't wait to see where it all goes. Right now it seems a long way off. And you fans, what do you think about all this? Comment here below. Leave your opinion. I will stay here and tell more.